Distributed by Paramount Pictures in 2012 was that of Jack Reacher. The film was loosely based on the 2005 novel One Shot by British writer Lee Child. The film focused on the character of Jack Reacher, played by Tom Cruise, through an espionage-based film. The origins of adapting Jack Reacher into a film date back to roughly 1997, but nothing ever really came of the ideas because of the developmental hell that the project was, or the possible premise that a Jack Reacher-based film could be. In 2011, Tom Cruise was hired to play Jack Reacher, and at the time, there were a considerable amount of controversies about the choice of Tom Cruise as an actor to play Jack Reacher due to the inconsistencies of Tom Cruise's acting talents as well as his physical traits that weren't similar to what were depicted in the novels of Jack Reacher, which had him in terms of physical traits or even physical appearance. Criticisms of Tom Cruise mostly came from that of his height, as it was addressed that Tom Cruise was technically shorter than Jack Reacher, as described within the novels, but film executives shrugged off these negativity claims, and the producers mentioned that Tom Cruise's acting abilities could or would make up for the lack of height. Tom Cruise's Jack Reacher portrayal was originally intended to be the first film of an in-depth franchise, but the film did poorly within United States' theaters. In 2013, a sequel was announced, only after the film's combined ticket sales from theaters reached a total of $200 million worldwide. In 2016, the sequel was released, being that of Jack Reacher: Never Go Back, released to negative reviews from critics as well as audiences. The film actually made less than the 2012 film, as well as criticisms about Tom Cruise's portrayal of Jack Reacher were once again depicted and discussed in various forms of media after the film was released. However, in 2018, criticisms about Tom Cruise's height being a factor in why his portrayal of Jack Reacher were confirmed by Lee Child himself. He essentially mentioned that Tom Cruise's interpretation of Jack Reacher occurred in his own way, rather than what was written within the books from the established continuity of the character, as well as what readers identified with in terms of Jack Reacher as a fictional-based character. Instead, Tom Cruise checked the source material and depicted Jack Reacher in his own way, arguably. Due to both movies having a neutral reception to audiences, plans for a third film were halted. In 2020, there were discussions about Tom Cruise wanting to create additional films as Jack Reacher, but the proposed third film would be more dark in tone and different from the previous two movies, as eventually decisions were to have Tom Cruise's version of Jack Reacher abandoned, with an Amazon Prime television series adaptational reboot as the franchise's focus instead. In 2022, the Amazon adaptation of Jack Reacher premiered, as it was considered a move in the right direction for the franchise, especially when compared to the path that it had taken under the appearance of Tom Cruise. A character could be overrated yet hated due to the controversy emitted and perceived by an actor's portrayal of a character.